Hi everyone, my name is Arity.
And I'm Troy.
And we are travelling around Australia full time, have been for 2.5 years. We started in February 2024. You might know us from our socials, you may not, whatever. Our social handle is the Thriving Wanderers. So if you have been following along, you would have seen us travelling around and everywhere that we've been, just having a good time and working remotely. So yeah, go give us a follow if you don't already. There's some, we love what we do and like to show you what's happening. We're going to get a little bit better at this sort of talking to the camera stuff. It's, I don't know, sometimes when it's a bit rehearsed, we're both a little bit awkward, but when it's very natural and kind of go with the flow, we're a little bit better. So we're here to talk about our new caravan, our Vibe Dropbear Grizzly, which is a new spec for Vibe Caravans.
And we're ambassadors for Vibe Caravans too, so so this is our second van with Vibe. So yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end. So we'll talk about weights, we'll talk about that sort of stuff at the end. But what we wanted to touch on quickly before we do the walk around is what makes this spec a little bit different to the normal, and then we'll come back and we'll answer a few questions that we get all the time that we've had with regards to this particular layout and this model. So yeah, so I guess we'll jump into it and talk about the width. So it's 200mm narrower in width, which is to help us to get down tighter tracks. It's better for towing. So we'll talk about fuel economy. That's Troy's favourite subject when it comes. His favourite question that he gets asked about with the patrol. It's a constant question. It's pretty funny, that as well as the exhaust. And it's also 70mm lower in height.
Yeah, so this spec is at 18 foot. It's sort of designed for more off-grid and travelling and touring and that sort of tighter tracks and everything. So considerably narrow when you look at it from behind or front on. Mm-hmm. But we probably haven't really noticed it too much on the internals.
No,
that it's narrow.
We've been in it for a month now and we're doing our walk around, and we wanted to do it as soon as we got into the van, but it was just the weather in Perth was rainy. It was miserable. We were hanging to get into the van, so our main focus and priority became getting into it and settling in and getting back to what we love and get into some warm weather, which we are in, and our t-shirts are almost like sweating, which we've got to adjust to the other end. So yeah, so as you see the walk around outside, it's a little bit dusty. We've been off-road. Troy's itching to give it another clean. Doesn't love that we're doing the walk around with it a little bit dusty and dirty.
but we wanted to use it and share our experience being narrower, smaller, different to what we probably would have traditionally signed up to as a new van. Rolling out this new model with Vibe and testing it out and sharing our honest feedback. We wanted to really use it first too before we just shared how amazing it is. I think if you've been following Vibe socials and following Vibe vans, the quality by now. If you're new to Vibe, customization, you'll see all of that as well. So for this one, we wanted to actually live in it for a bit, make sure that we're speaking from the heart and the honest truth, and just share how that's going rather than show you how shiny it looks when it rolled out the production line.
We can walk through and show you all of the features of this van, and it's got all the fruit on it, and it has everything that you even need to be able to go off-grid and be comfortable, but to share kind of how it feels and what we're finding really works.
The differences of this van over our previous 19-foot Tough. And things that we probably didn't even realise we'd either like or dislike or we didn't know until you get it. And I think that's the biggest challenge designing, building vans. A lot of people only get the chance to do it once in their lifetime. So you don't know what you don't know, and everything's a trade-off. So that's sort of part of this walk around and sharing this.
We're learning as we go. 2.5 years, we're definitely not experts.
No.
We're learning every day. Something happens and we call ourselves rookies and should have known better and all those we Google things like you're in different situations. So so this van, as Troy said, it is an 18-foot. So the Grizzly is an 18-foot van. So there's a family layout and there's a couples layout. This is the couples layout. Majority of what we'll show you are the standard inclusions, because it's pretty Vibe are known to be very customizable, and yes, it still is with regards to colours and certain features and a few upgrades. However, pretty much what we show you is what you get, so you don't really have to think about, all right, this price, how much more is it going to cost us to add X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You get everything.
And I guess that's when we were working with Jed and the team around rolling out the first couples Grizzly. It was around what the standard Grizzly would look like, because and like this, it's endless what you can add or take off or what you want to do, but getting the weights, getting the layout and design, we wanted to have the standard version or close to, and just add our few little things that are sort of non-negotiables for us, or things we just like to have. So it's good to be able to show, I guess, a standard van straight off the brush line.
So there are different, I just want to touch on the drop bear side of things. Like I said, this is a Grizzly. There are other drop bear models available. They are smaller, different layouts. They're all available, and you can view those on the Vibe Caravan website. So if you want to jump across and have a look, you can do that. You can reach out to the team directly as well via the website, and they'll give you quotes and whatever else you might need. Before we get outside, the one thing I think we should probably just also touch on is the walls.
Yeah, so this version, or this van we went with, has got the rot-proof walls, so it's pretty much a composite panel. So Vibe's always constructed with CNC cut plywood, so replacing the plywood with a rot-proof PVC polyurethane dome, so a composite material. So in between the aluminium external, there's a composite wall, and then there's the internal wall lining as well. So there's a lot of people want composite vans, and there's huge benefits with it. Personally, I struggle to look at the plain white on the outside and get excited about composite vans, so I like being able to choose the colours and the sheet metal aluminium look. When Vibe mentioned about the rot proof, we wanted to trial it, and so far we've noticed considerable difference in the cooler weather. It's definitely way more insulated internally. We haven't really got into the hot weather yet, and using the same technology that Vibe's been constructing vans forever and a day. So with the CNC cut plywood, they've just replaced that with a strong polyurethane foam or a composite panel that's using the same structure, technology, screwing it, CNC cutting it. So for us, it's not a massive shift in their construction methodology. It's just an evolution of it and bringing in that composite insulation. So far, super strong, insulated well. I'd highly recommend it, and probably stick to this rot-proof construction moving forward as well.
Yeah. I'll insert a little bit of content video that we got when we were in the factory throughout our build, so you can see what the walls look like and how they're put together. Yeah, so right, let's get into the outside and the inside walkthroughs, and we'll come back to talk about the weights and how our first month has been in this small model. So we'll see you soon.
Righto, now we're outside. We're going to give you a bit of a walk around of the Dropbear Grizzly, and I guess some of the features that are specific to the Dropbear, and some that are, I guess, Vibe standard features, and some of the way they build their vans. So we'll give a bit of a run around, and then we'll wrap it up at the end with some more details, no doubt. So up front, we've got the DO45 hit. It's on a 4.5 ton chassis. So we've always opted for that in all the Vibes we've gone for, the heavier duty chassis. Whilst we tow behind the Patrol, we want to be able to make sure you got maximum payload if you do for resale, or someone wants to tow it behind a big American truck. So that's why it's got the DO45, 4.5 ton chassis. Obviously your standard sort of things here with your trail breakaway, all your plugs and chains, etc. This one, we run the Boss jockey wheel, so we've always had the Boss jockey wheels on all our vans. Find them super light, super easy to use. You can leave them on, pack them up, put them away, throw them in the tunnel boot. So and there's plenty of height adjustment as well. So we've liked those heavy duty. They last well out in the weather as well. Since we picked up the Vibe, it's been a few weeks. We've been out exploring, so she's a bit dirty. Not up to my normal standards, but we've got the stone stompers fitted as well. First thing we always do is fit the stone stompers just to protect the front of the van, the toolboxes, and they do a fantastic job. Yeah, so that's the front half of the van.
What coating is on this chassis?
On this one, it's the Cobra coating. So this is a heavy duty coating used in different industries, but Vibe use these on their chassis, so take a bit of that dirt off there, but it's nice and shiny, heavy duty.
The tidy clean bit.
Yeah, moving on, we've obviously got the front of the van up there, so you'll see we've gone the sparkling silver paneling. It's got the 3D Vibe Caravan logo, which is a Grizzly spec. It looks pretty good, and there's steady lights front and rear, so yeah, it looks pretty sharp up front. Up front here we've got the Dropbear Grizzly custom toolbox, so quite a large one, not the biggest one in the fleet. It's got EVA foam on the front for added stone protection, but it looks nice and sharp. Cool design, box on top which you can obviously mount your bike racks to, or store things up in it, dirty mats and whatnot. As we open up this side of the toolbox, we've got the 4.5 kilo gas bottle. There's a nice shelf there that runs all the way through for storing odds and ends, light stuff obviously. And then yeah, your gas bottles tucked away nice and neatly. So plenty of storage on this side, and then when we get around the other side we'll show you how big that side is as well. Moving right along, we've got an external power outlet here. We've obviously got the Bosch jockey legs that you'll see down here, which is standard on the Dropbear Grizzly. So these legs are heavily rated. You can actually jack up the whole van off these legs. Quite easy to use, very stable, and I like the fact they've got a stainless steel inner in them. Been on the road for full time, you notice the more things like that wear really well and nice and sturdy. So really enjoying the Bosch jockey legs, nice and easy to use, and the same tool bit operates the small things. Actually, it's the same tool bit operates the jockey wheel and obviously the legs. So just little things as you're unloading and loading all the time. It's nice and easy. Coming along the side here, we've got plenty of tunnel boot storage. In here, flows all the way through the front of the van. There's some power outlets and our wide tie and Oricom smart level and that stacked up there neatly as well. Moving along to the next tunnel boot, this is where all the services are stored. So in here we've got our diesel heater, auto term diesel heater. We've got the water pump, we've got the diesel hot water and heater, sorry, and we've got the WOMO UV filter. So we optioned that up, so we got Vibe to install that during the build. So that's a UV water filter, so all of our water goes through filters into the tanks, and out of the tank comes up through the pump through the UV, so it's super treated. And we've definitely noticed a difference with the taste and the quality of the water. So one of the things we noticed traveling around a lot is just different water in different towns and different tastes and chlorine, so it's got a very neutral flavor, so we're enjoying that as well.
How do you access?
Yeah, so this is just a petition in there, 4 screws to be able to get into the service area. So that's just put in to give you that little bit extra storage space, but stop bending it, bashing into your diesel heater and your hot water and all your pipes and stuff behind there. So once again, a good useful area, keeps everything in one area to service if you need to get to them, but also gives you a little bit of storage there for our tools and things like that. So not just a wasted space. Down here we've got the tank for the diesel heater. It's about 20 odd litres, so nice big tank there to run for your hot water and your diesel heater. And there's obviously 2 Anderson plugs there you can see as well. So one's a regulated and one's an unregulated input for connecting solar blankets and that to help with extra charge when required. So moving along into the power setup, we've got obviously your fuses and your shore power inlet, and then under the couch on the inside is your power cupboard. So in here obviously all running the Victron system from Baintech, all nice and neatly installed, easy to get to and nice and marked as well. So this van standard, we're running 600 amps of battery and 1440 watts of solar on the roof with a 3000 watt inverter. So that's the standard battery setup on the Dropbear Grizzly. Nice vented door as well to keep the heat out. It turns on automatically depending on the heat in the cupboard, and controls all of that unit inside with our Servo GX, which we'll show you on the inside. Continuing on the offside here, you'll see this storage compartment here, which is under the fridge. So this box we turned into a wet box. So it's fully lined and sealed, so you can throw dirty equipment in there, muddy shoes, snorkeling gear, car cleaning products or whatever you like, and it's obviously a nice area that you can clean out easy and doesn't contaminate your other boxes and get moisture everywhere. So excited about that. You'll see here you've got the vent line mounted on the outside, which leads us into the laundry chute and washing machine. So in here obviously from the internal you've got your standard Vibe sort of inclusion, laundry chute in, washing machine, 2.5 kilos and
3 kilos actually.
I wouldn't know, I never use it. A nice little box up there to store things. So once again, another great area, just dirty clothes and that, it's all kept out of the way to keep the van inside nice and clean. So all of the doors are standard these days with Vibe, I guess, is the folded aluminium powder coated doors, so nice and light, very strong, look very sharp as well. Coming around to the rear of the van, we've got the nice big rear bar. So obviously got your jerry can holder, your big wood box, your spare tyre. Probably good to show you this wheel, it's nice and shiny, not like the other one. So we've got the machined ROH Assaults wrapped in Wild Peaks. Super excited about these ones, they look really good, and when it's clean it sparkles, which I really like. Up the back and down the sides we've got the steady lights, the reverse camera, and there's a awning sail track on the offside there as well. So when you're off grid, you can hook up a shade sail to keep the sun off the side of the van. Just showing you some of the storage in the rear bar. You've got storage on either side that you can put in your power cables and hoses and things, and then there's like a trundle drawer here, I guess. So we just store hoses and all light stuff really, and stuff that you, when you're setting up camp and connecting to services, like to store all that up the back. Nice and light, not too heavy on the rear as well. Coming around to the party side of the van, down here we've got the Max Track Stage 4 airbag suspension. So it's set up underneath on the Max Tracks, the 4.5 ton shed, as I said earlier. There's 8 Pettis shockeys under there and the airbags as well. So works extremely well. We love it. Off grid, setting up campsites nice and easy. Easy to get to. It's got a remote control as well to control and get your levels right, and auto ride height leveling when you depart. On this side we've got the RV Wi-Fi Mini 3 Starlink mount to connect our Starlink to. Gives you plenty of options there to run off your battery system and have the Starlink connected, which we use all day every day working on the road. So nice handy inclusion there. You'll see here the paneling as well. So we've got the powder coated flat aluminium paneling, so not for the faint-hearted. Loving it. Looks really good in all different lights. Haven't got any scratches on it, so that's the way I'm going to keep it. But yeah, looks really good. Goes with the silver and the nice machined wheels really well. Continuing down this side, we've got a nice big storage cupboard in here, which is perfectly set up for, you know, nice tall long objects, fishing rods, mops, shovels, equipment, whatever you like really. There's always in a caravan trying to find places to store different things, so it's another nice useful space. We've got some fishing rod holders up there. The rods are on the car at the moment for looks, but we normally store them in there. So up here we've got an external Fusion speaker, Bluetooth speaker that you connect to your phone and run your sound system from, and then we've got a massive, great, exciting entertainment hatch in here. So there's a 40-inch TV, plenty of storage to store coolers and drinks and odds and ends, and a nice big top here for mixing cocktails, putting things on, and once again just another great space that you don't always have to pull out your table to set up. You can, you know, have your chairs and just use this as a nice usable space while you've got the footy going or some TV going. So
it's recessed in.
Nice and recessed in, as Arati said. So the other huge benefit of this is it's, yeah, finishes flush with the side of the van, so there's not some great big box hanging off the side. And as you're probably told by now, if you've seen any of my stuff, I like clean, simple, straight lines, so looks fantastic. Up here we've got the Aussie Traveller door. It comes in obviously pretty standard sort of kit, but it splits in two. So the second part of the door has got your midgie mesh, stop any sort of midgies or bugs getting in, which I got attacked the other day, not inside the van, and then a security screen as well. So nice and secure. It's got the multiple locks down the side to lock it in nice and tight, and splits in two. Down here we've got the step. It's an electric step, nice and easy to use, easy to set up obviously, and it's got a light in as well, which is quite handy at night time when you're coming outside. You can flick the switch and you've got a nice easy light there. We've also got the Fiamma electric awning up there, so controlled by inside as well, so that just comes out electrically, and then obviously the legs mount to the van or to the ground. So nice and light, tying in I guess with the Grizzly theme. There's no big structures down the side to get caught, obviously maximising that narrowness of the van, so it's up out of the way, nice and light. We've got the outdoor picnic table here as well, sitting beside where your barbecue slide is. So we use the Cobb grill. We love the Cobb grill, it works extremely well, and we've got an air fryer. And then you've got your little table there as well, which just gives you that extra space setting up. Even though you've got massive slides, you always have stuff sitting on them. So having the preparation table, somewhere to put the food when you cooked it, really enjoying that. We didn't have that in our last van, and I'm really enjoying having that extra bit of space there to store things when you're cooking, and got a beer in the hand and too many things going on, so it's handy. So just to, I guess, finish off the features of the van, or some of the usability of it, we've got the other side of the toolbox I showed you before. So on this side, the shelf that goes all the way through, and a nice big massive slide here as well. So put anything on there. We've got some extra bits and pieces for our cob we haven't used yet, and yeah, just stuff to be able to get easy access to. You're not climbing in the toolbox to get to it. So yeah, we're loving it. It's having a big toolbox up front is nice and handy to have place for everything you carry on the road. Just before we wrap up, I guess, you know, and just touch on some of the outdoor lighting. We've got obviously lighting down both sides. all controlled separately. We've got the steady lights on the front, the offside and the rear, which are super bright, and then obviously all your normal sort of safety lights and things down the side. So
All these ones on this side are bug light.
yeah, so these all are both, you know, white light or bug light, so run by a switch just in here, which is nice and easy to operate. So you've got your different lighting in there, and you have your bug light or your white lights out here. So plenty of lighting, easy to use. The party side of the van with the entertainment hatch.
Oh, hang on, you said party, but you forgot one thing.
What?
What are your other party lights?
Oh, I forgot. We've got the steady rock lights underneath. Totally forgot about them. We'll show you tonight. But yeah, in part of the package there's steady rock lights underneath as well. So actually really good at night time, just to light up walking area.
Disco.
Once again, don't have to have bright lights on you, but you can have nice floor lighting going and have them partying onto the disco or connect to your music. So yeah, it's just a nice little thing, something fun to turn on, and yeah, it looks good.
Alright, we're going to take you through the inside. We've had a lot of questions around the inside and the colours and cushions, where they're from, all that sort of stuff, but let's show you our space inside. So we have got our, we'll start with the windows. We've got our split windows here. We opted for this. We do love like when there's a nice big window, however this just works really well. What we do at night time is we pull this one up, so we've got privacy if we're sitting on the bed. We can have still this one open, have full airflow, and keep that open overnight, so it's just that little bit higher. Makes me feel a little bit better about it, that I can defend myself when Troy's asleep and someone's trying to get in. So yeah, so that's what we choose, and we love those. I think actually let's touch on these windows, because we've always had the Aussie Traveller Eurovision windows in our vans, and didn't realise that there are some that, we know there's concertina sort of blinds and mesh, but we didn't realise how many bugs can get through different brands, and we've never really had that issue. We've always kind of had our mosquito mesh and our blinds, and it be flat and nothing gets in and around. They're actually really well sealed and they're great windows. So just if anybody hasn't experienced these and they do get bugs, this 100% we can leave these open all night, lights on, and bugs will be on the outside of the blinds, but they won't be coming inside, they can't get in. Okay, so let's talk about cupboard space. So we've got this nice big window, cupboard, let's call it a cupboard. It's got shelving, so we've got that. We've got a little cubby hole here which has got 240 volt and USB plugs in there, so we can charge our phones, or I can charge my phone. We've got full pockets on either side. If Troy needs to charge his phone, we've got 240 volt plugs there, and then one at the other side there. And we've got a nice big drawer here, nice big drawer for us to share, so we're sharing. We've got rid of a heap of clothes, we don't need as many as we thought we did. And then full overhead cupboards here, so they're nice and deep and they go all the way back, and so there's heaps of storage. We've actually got spare space in this van, which is, we didn't think we would, being a narrower and lower van, so we haven't lost that. We've gone to our French bed, so we've stayed with this. We'll talk a little bit more about this towards the end. We get a lot of questions around the French bed and how we find it, do we like it compared to an island bed, etc. Queen size, 1900 approximately length, so it works well. We've got a nice big drawer underneath here, so it comes all the way out, and everything is soft close. And then we've got two flaps under here. You might not be able to see, but we put all our shoes in there, so it's about the width from here to the edge. Two flaps so that we can store whatever you want in there. Everyone likes to know what we store where and when, so I'll show you that as you go. If you don't like to see it, that's okay, it doesn't matter. Don't judge us on how anything looks. Everything's still moving around in the van. We've got two fans above the bed, so two fans there, so three settings. Got lights, actually got USB ports in there, so we can charge, put some cables in and charge from there if we really want to. Alright, so we've got, outside of these split windows, we've got the other four remaining windows are all 1100 wide, so they're nice big windows. One here, one in the ensuite, which we'll show you later, and then one nice big one on the kitchen side, awning side. So when we're at the kitchen bench, we can see out, it's nice, and lots of airflow comes through the Caravan, having big windows on either side. We've got our dust reduction system, pretty standard, nothing fancy about it, just does what it does. And so we've got our diesel heater control panel here. We've got overhead cupboards here, so 2 full overhead cupboards. I'll show you. Got our first aid kit, got little bits and pieces in there. This cupboard we'll reveal later. There's a few things in there that we've got to try out and that we're going to showcase, which is pretty cool. This cupboard, we've got our power panel, so all our fuses, everything's fully labelled. This is what we love about Vibe, everything's just nice and clean. We've got our diesel hot water, so the 240 volt option there, so there's a button to push when we're on shore power, and then the panel underneath is for our diesel hot water. So when we're off grid and we're running hot water, we can just hit that button and it heats up nice and fast. We love it. And then obviously we just got a portable Sonos speaker. There's no speakers throughout the roof or inside, so we've opted for the Sonos, which is perfect. It's the Sonos Play. It's been really good so far, so I recommend if you're going to look for a speaker in your van, it's great because it works out your surrounds and adapts to your environment. We've got our Servo GX, I think it is, for our Victron system, so it just shows everything power related, battery related, what we're bringing in. So we're 100%, we just had the aircon running before, and what we're pulling in and what we were using was identical, so it didn't budge. So it shows what we're doing. Then it's got our water levels, so obviously our tanks, this is what we've got left in tank 1, we've got 2, 3, and that's our grey water at this point in time. Shows our environment there, so it's showing what the degrees is in that power cupboard that's under the seat here, which then kicks on at a certain temp to keep it nice and cool. We're running the My Coolman air conditioning, so we're testing this. We have used in our last 2 vans, we've had a Dometic FreshJet, we've had the Houghton Bel Air, which, you know, out of those 2, the Houghton was really good and really efficient. It was a little bit louder, but it was super efficient, so you didn't really care about the noise. So far with this one, we've found that it's efficient and it's also actually just really quiet. So far it's been just around, like, you've got that air blowing noise, nothing, you know, rumbling in the roof. So we'll see how it goes in the hotter, warmer temps. So far so good, so it's actually been good to test it. The fridge, we've just swapped it for the 224 litre, I think it is, Deptford fridge. This is standard in the Vibe and the couples van. It's enough for a couples. It's ample size. We really like that it's a freezer drawer, so that just keeps things really easy and accessible. I like it.
You can get in there easy.
I can. We've got this, so on the other side of this is our wet box. So without, you know, like these sorts of little features are what we love with Vibe, because why not use the little space that you have? And look what we've got, a couple of bottles of wine. That's just an empty bottle. I don't know where that should go in the van. But yeah, so it fits perfectly. It's actually great for little wine bottles. Not that they last very long, but that's a great storage area for those. In this layout, we have the bench seating. This, it just works. It keeps it nice and open. There's no returns to worry about. We love this kind of setup, so we can work side by side if we want to. We can swivel this table, sit side by side. We can eat side by side, so we can have the table between us and sort of just be relaxing. So still plenty of space in here. So as you can see, you probably fit three people sort of comfortably without invading personal space, I guess. And we've got our tabletop here. This is a little bit narrower to the last one, but again, we want to optimize the space inside the caravan. Okay, we're going to move into the kitchen, which is my favorite part, and I know we've had lots of questions around this part of it, and the colors, and they'll come together very well. So not just the colors, but the textures, everything together in this van feel like just all came together really nicely. So we've got a stone look bench top. So as you can see, it's got a nice little marble through it. It's nice and thin here, so it's not too chunky. I don't know if we'll go away from the stone look.
No,
I don't
it's
think
nice.
we could go back to the laminate. Sorry, darling. I know it's a bit more expensive, but you like it, so
yeah,
I guess
good.
We have to continue with it. And it comes with your sink insert, so we can pull that out. I just pop it in here when we get to our camp site. We just set up. We've got a dusk bronze sink and we've got our dusk bronze tapware here, which everything was kind of designed around this tapware and this bench top coming together. Everything else was like these two are 100% happening. Same with the catches, they're a dusk bronze, and just it's really beautiful together. Let's touch on lighting. So we've got warm lighting under all of our overheads, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, across under here, across over under the bed. As you can see there. And we come to an on-bench pantry. So what does that mean? It means that the pantry comes off the bench. So there's this space here, and then your pantry and your overheads run flush together. So what it means is when you come inside here, what you would call an appliance cupboard. This is our coffee nook because we are coffee lovers. You could have a toaster, a kettle. It could be whatever you want. You could fill it with boxes and pantry storage, whatever. If you don't have any of those things, for us, it just works perfect. Nice deep cupboards. I've got shelves there. I've got spices, little bits and pieces. So this is great. We can work here, have your cup here, make a coffee, and Troy does in the morning, makes it for us, and yeah, it's all just usable space. It's much easier for using it.
And when you're cleaning up at night time, because I do the dishes as well, it's a handy place to put your dirty dishes while you're washing.
That's all he does.
Really loving that extra little bit of bench space there. That just, yeah, it's surprising how much more usability it gives you.
Yeah, so we've still got a nice amount of bench space too. So having this insert means that you've got more space to work from. However, it's kind of rare because I like to kind of clean as I go, so I minimise how much washing there is for Troy at the end. So it's really just 2 plates generally. But anyway, I'm sure he's got a rebuttal. But no, so I'm washing up as I go. So a lot of the time I'm not actually using that insert, and then this is still ample. I can have the induction here, I could have prepped here, and yeah, there's plenty of room.
It's nice and deep.
Yeah, considering we're 200mm narrower, as we mentioned at the start of the video, we've still got plenty of space. This bench space is as deep as your standard, if not deeper. Up here we've got really big overheads, so this is kind of our little lighter snack kind of cupboard, but you can see you could use it for whatever. We've got plenty of storage in here, which is why we've kind of spread out a little bit, but there's plenty of height and there's plenty of depth in there. And this one is exactly the same with the range hood. We've just got a step up here, but it doesn't take away from your cupboard space. You don't lose it and have like just this big cupboard door with a little space. Like Vibe are great at making sure you don't lose anything in your design, because they know how important it is. Got 4 full drawers here, so we've got cutlery drawers. I'll show you that one, it's nice and neat. I'll show you the other one, that's fine. So then you've got your other drawers. So yeah, we've got cups and then plates in there. In here we've got a little pantry, so we've got salt and pepper, your oils, bits and pieces like sauces. And then underneath here there's still plenty of room. I thought this might be, when I first saw it on the plans and I saw that this is what it comes with, I was a little bit skeptical of what you can actually store in here and how much space you would lose. But I've got flowers, I've got the heavier things at the bottom, and there's still plenty of room to store that, so that's all there nice and deep. And then this still comes out very easily. So under the sink you've got a shelf, and then we've got our slide out bin, so that's handy. We had a double in the last one, but going to the single, it's fine, like for 2 people, and anyone really. If you're traveling, once you fill that up, you're going to put it in your garbage bag on your wheel, or you're going to put it in the bins. We've got the Panasonic 4-in-1. So with our last Vibe, we had the Breville 3-in-1. So similar appliance, a flush face, doesn't have the handle hanging off. So far I've actually really enjoyed using this. We've been using it for a month. Used the oven, I've cooked some sourdough, it was perfect. So the air fryer function I think is a little bit, got a bit more guts in the Panasonic. It comes with all your attachments. It's a microwave, it's a grill, it's an air fryer, and it's an oven. And then we've got our pot drawer underneath. So a nice big deep pot drawer. Got our sandwich press and just like stackable saucepans and everything in there. Okay, so we have a concertina door again, so just easy, tucks away. We've gone with the large ensuite. Now when we say large ensuite, for an 18-foot van, it's a pretty meaty ensuite. There's plenty of room in here. I can get changed, not that I have any issues, a little bit smaller, but Troy has plenty of room still. Our last van obviously was just that little bit bigger again, but it was kind of like more of a luxury, whereas this is actually a practical sort of large ensuite where we don't have to get changed in the hallway. We've just got this space to do whatever we want. We can close that over, have a shower, you know, do makeup. Nice big window, so 1100 again. Got the Clasana toilet. So we're running this. In our other vans we've had the Ogo toilet, so the composting toilet. So this is something new for us. We've been using it for about a month now. It definitely takes the thought out of kind of what you do, like preparing and that sort of stuff, and more of a having to empty the bottom tray that you have here where the bags drop into. So far it kind of makes light work, so we'll see how we go once we've been kind of off grid for weeks at a time, or a week at a time, see if that sort of gets a bit tiring rather than just have a bucket fill up and have to empty a euro bottle, but we'll see how it goes. So we've got our little laundry chute, so all the dirty clothes go down there. You don't have to think about where you're putting them. Each night stuff goes down, having a shower, which is really easy. Plenty of bench space. If you've sort of seen our previous walkthroughs and watched our Instagram or whatever, we both work on the road. We don't work in the same business. Often we have meetings at the same time. It's not always easy for me to be outside or Troy to be outside on a meeting. Sometimes it is if you're in a remote location. We'll split up, shut that door, someone will be standing here. So this little angle here is to create some space, but it's really actually worked well to be able to kind of just have that space and you can look out. So there's plenty of room here. Hit me up if you've got any ideas of what I can put here as a little decoration, because I'm kind of still just not sure. I don't want to put a plant there, so sometimes I just don't survive. And anyway, let me know. We've got our dust bronze tapware. We've got a mirror that goes straight across this time rather than the round, and in the smaller space it actually makes it just feel a little bit larger. A full cupboard there, so all my cleaning stuff's just down there. Clasana items there, full drawers. Got a mirrored shower door here. Show you our overheads. So these they're very usable, so these are a little bit taller, I would say, so you can have two toilet rolls on top of each other there, and then we've just got hair straighteners, hair dryer and clippers and just little bits and pieces in the top of those. As you would have seen on the walk around outside, like our hatch that had the fishing rods, a nice tall one. So on the back of this inside we've got a linen cupboard, so we've got plenty of nice deep space. So there's 3 of these that are that deep. This one's a little bit more shallow, and then it's like there's so much space in this van that for storage. So I've got little bits and pieces. I've got my heavier pantry items here, so like cans and stuff like that, because I didn't want them in an overhead and I didn't want to use up any of my valuable kind of pot drawer. And then in here I've just got our bits and pieces like alcohol, and I nearly forgot my van line. So we've got our van line here for inside, so I'll show you, because a lot of people kind of probably don't understand how compact this is. So this is an addition you can buy on the van line site, which is for socks and undies. It really is like super. I've got one outside, I've got one inside. But yeah, so sitting it here, no, you don't walk in and hit your head. So when it's kind of, you've got towels that you want to dry that aren't drying quickly, or anything that's at night time a little bit damp still, I just bring it inside.
Our goal, we've got the Witness and Y62, so we've always wanted to build or have the most high spec van, but under 3.5 tons. So obviously we're restricted on that towing capacity, it's easy to go buy another truck. We've spent a lot of money on the Patrol and love it, and we can sort of talk about this all the time. Get a truck or American truck, you can go endless on your weight, but we've actually also enjoyed trying to come up with designs and inclusions, having spec vans that are awesome,
but also practical.
Yeah, that tow behind the Patrol and still remain legal. So it's a challenge, and I think that's one of the things we'll touch on with Vibe as well. It's always at the forefront of every discussion you have with them around weight, what that does to your overall weight and things. So it's still no exact formula until you put it over the scales. So this tear weight come in at 2940.
Yeah, 2942 kilos.
2942 kilos.
Yeah, so that's a huge payload. If you've got a tow vehicle that can tow 4.5 tonne, that's a huge payload, which is why we upgrade to the bigger chassis. So the 4.5 tonne
truss chassis.
Yeah, so that then, a future buyer or, someone who does have that capability can maximise it.
Yeah, and it's over-engineered for the weight you're carrying as well. So once again, it's sort of everything starts from the ground up. So having good suspension, good chassis, good wheels, things like that ensures that I think the structure and everything else maintains its integrity as you're doing as much as we do on off-road and off-grid. So 2942. So come in pretty good. Obviously, big toolbox, big rear bar. All of those other features with stone bench tops and things like that, so we're super happy with that. And there's areas where you could shave weight if you wanted to, but we also put it across the scales once it was fully loaded, and we're under the 3.5 tonne as well, but we're fully legal towing, so that's a massive achievement, and super happy with the spec we've got and what we're using it for.
Yeah, we definitely stay between our weights. We weigh all of our caravans once we're set
Scary
up.
sometimes.
Yeah, we always hold our breath and get weighed, and then we always get our vans wheel aligned once we're loaded too, so this is due for that this week. Ball weight was 290 kilos.
Yeah.
How are we liking the size?
Yeah, so actually when you're in the van, you don't notice it's any different. I'm just over 6 foot, so it's 70 mil lower at the top. So when people see you standing up, it looks a bit lower than normal, but I don't feel it. In the shower, it's probably at the sort of height, but it's not. The shower actually feels...
Not for me.
The shower actually feels bigger. We used to have a corner shower in the last van, and this is more a rectangle. I actually find it bigger to shower in. So internally, width and height, don't feel it day to day at all. And I think that comes down to some of the design elements with the pantries and just...
Yeah, it's not heavy overhead, but also just to give you an idea on Vibe, their standard models of the Marlow, Tough and OG spec, their internal height are 6.5, 6'5" in height. So they're a little bit higher to begin with. So if you're a taller person, they're perfect. Those sorts of people can feel pretty comfortable in a caravan.
Yeah.
So that makes this 6'3". So it's still... it's probably a standard height van if you really look at it. Outside of those manufacturers that might be sticking with the 6'5" as well, but being 70 mil lower isn't really making this smaller, if you know what I mean. You might be in your caravan thinking, oh, we can't lose that space, but you might already be at what we're at now.
Then on the outside, it's towing behind the car, as Arity mentioned before, fuel economy. I never talk about fuel.
Hang on a second, you're jumping forward. Just wait. That's a whole other question.
Are we talking about the outside though?
No. Just I'm in control here.
Hurry up.
Would you do this size and model again?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't have any hesitations. If this was our forever van and we couldn't do another van for whatever reason, I would be super happy. I don't think there's anything that I go, wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda, or don't like it. So surprisingly, it's like, and we've got smaller and smaller with every van, and it feels nice. Yeah,
we haven't really found it feel very different at all. I mean, our last one was 19 foot. It's not a huge difference, but the narrowness, like everything inside just feels very normal. You notice it on the outside when you're sort of walking up to it. You can see that it is a little bit narrower, but inside...
No, and because we work and we do spend a lot of time Monday to Friday in the van, so you don't want to have that feeling of being housebound or trapped. So I think the big windows and the colours and just the setback of certain cupboards and things are just the design elements. it feels really homely and plenty of space. So not missing the different extra foot here or 200 mil there, that's for sure.
No, definitely not feel the same inside. And I mean, it's a lot easier for me. I can actually reach back the cupboards a lot better too. So for a little shorty like me, it's I still feel like I've got plenty of space. Storage space, have you found anything different outside? Have you felt more or less?
Well, we've got more storage space now, so righto, change GoPros.
Yeah, talk about technical difficulties. Right, there's been a few stop starts just when we get on a roll. For the newbies, it's definitely not what we want, but anyway, it's all good, we just roll with it.
Let's get into it.
Alright, don't bust me now. I guess the next question is, being narrower, how does it feel being more narrow and lower? Obviously our previous Vibe, Towed Like a Dream, we felt a huge difference from our first brand that we had and Caravan to our first Vibe, and how well they towed and how well balanced they are. How have you felt driving and towing?
You considerably notice the difference being 200 mil narrow. Like, you wouldn't think that much, but towing on the highways, narrow roads we've been on, just passing trucks and traffic and staying within your lines, it is noticeable.
Takes any stress out of it.
Yeah, it's actually like just tows really well. And fuel economy.
Let's go into the fuel economy question.
I never really looked at the fuel economy previously. We've got a scan gauge.
It's all part of it. You know, for us, we drive to get there. It's a V8. It is petrol V8. It is thirsty, but it's a super capable tow vehicle. We've never had an issue getting fuel and being stuck and having to rely on jerry can. We're roughly at around 30 litres, 33 litres.
Yeah, probably more. On the scan gauge, it sits between sort of 33 and 38, depending, what speed you're sitting on and uphill and things like that. But if you picked a figure, I'd say probably on average 33, 34 litres per 100.
Yeah, but what are we now that we're 200 mil narrower?
We've been tracking it for the last month, religiously, and it's sitting at 23 litres per 100. So it's about 10 litres per 100 less fuel, better fuel economy. So blows my mind, to be honest, when I think about it. So we would look at the gauge in the patrol. 400 k's was my limit. Fill up within 400 k's, 400 k's. That was sort of the safe zone. Now it's 500 k's. So that gives you an example, just using that raw number, that you're getting another 100 k's comfortably without stretching it. And that's just from it being narrower. It blew my mind, to be honest, on that side of it.
And that's only been a month that we found those.
Yeah, and I think, so touching on it, you haven't sacrificed anything to go narrower. So I think building another van or keeping to this design, whatever, there's no hesitations with it, because it's not like you're giving up something to get that extra distance. And I know there's a lot of chat online, a lot of questions get around fuel economy, because that's what people really focus on, how much it's costing to do this. We're fortunate, we work on the road, still got an income. But if that's a deciding factor, it's seriously a reason to look at a narrow van like the Dropbear Grizzly to execute on. And if you didn't have a patrol on it, something even better on fuel, it'd be mind-blowing, I think.
And I know yesterday you measured the width of the wheel tracks because you wanted to see how much it follows the patrol wheel tracks.
So it's exactly the same. So the wheels on the Caravan track 1750, which is 1750 to the centre of the patrol rear wheels as well. So once again, can't wait to get it on the beach and tow it. So just having that sit dead in the tracks of the patrol, I'm sure will be amazing for when we're tackling those beach trips.
The next question that we get asked a lot when we're talking about layouts and showing people through our van is the French bed layout. So for me, I'm fine, because my side is where I can just hop off. I'll let you talk about how it feels for you.
I think the first decision was like, we'll give it a go, and then after being in it for a couple of days, I actually really enjoy it. I think still being younger, reasonably fit, you can easily slide on off. If you're in your 70s or that, it might not be suitable. But for us, I think it works really well. There's multiple benefits. We like the fact that we can use it as a couch as well. So we get the sort of use of two spaces. We use the couch more than probably the bed in some respects.
When we say that,
we lean against the window on this side and watch the TV. So you don't feel like you're climbing into bed to chill out on those crappy days or when you just need a bit of chill time. We set it up like a couch, I guess, a day bed, and set up like that. And then obviously being against the wall, I was like worried about, I always slept hanging over the bed and just feeling, trapped. The last van we didn't put overhead cupboards because I was concerned about that as well. This one we've got the full overhead cupboards all the way around, so a bit more sort of space there. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It gives you more space, I feel, because I do push up against that side of the bed. You don't clang into it, it's all padded as well, so you're not sort of naturally moving into the middle. And in caravans, 50 mil here, 50 mil there, you do notice it. By having that usable space up to the wall, you're not sort of centering yourself in and bumping into each other in the middle of bed. So yeah, I really like it, and it's easy to slide off the way Vibe designed the couch and the wall, so there's no sort of areas hindering you sort of sliding on off the bed at night time. Easy. And at this stage I'm only going to the toilet once a night, so it's not too bad. So
you haven't progressed to two
let's
times
have
a night yet.
let's have a few beers, but yeah, I highly recommend. I think everything you do this or that in a caravan, so what it gives us is the space to have a smaller van and different things, so everything's a trade-off, and I don't think I've traded anything off being on that side. There's a little
time that we're in bed,
yeah, there's a pocket there to put your phone in, headphones and things like that. So yeah, I like it, highly recommend it.
The one thing before we go is just about, you know, us changing vans and what we do. So this van is for sale, with the view to be available later in the year. It's about you know, testing it out,
Demonstrator sort of thing, like get the first one off the production line. Research
development, sort of talk about the layout, how it feels, rather than someone sort of take the punt and we take that punt. So far, obviously, we've loved it, and we would probably go this again in our future van. We had the last van for 11 months, and we travelled throughout. We looked after it, didn't skip a beat. It was pretty much brand new for the new owners when we handed it over. It's about us working in the couple space with Vibe, so we can showcase their layouts, work with them on layouts. So, you know, from people who are living in the van full time, we learn so much as we go.
And just little bits of feedback we give back to Vibe, nothing game changing. There's always little things you learn, little tweaks to the layout or designs that just make it that little bit better. So when someone's buying their one and only van, they don't realise why it's so good. It's all those little tweaks and feedback and improvements that happen in the course of it. And I guess, you know, using it full time, living it full time, we want to maintain as much value in them as possible. So we're fortunate enough to be able to work with Vibe as well, buy our vans, roll them over, and you know, we enjoy the design and the colours, and it's a bit of fun as well.
We love working with the team. The whole team's awesome. It's not just us, everybody has the same experience. If you have spoken to anyone who owns a Vibe, the whole experience is top notch. You know, the communication from start to finish and after is amazing, and they're wizards at what they do. They do just such great work. It's great to go to them with ideas, have their ideas, and sort of go, yeah, okay, that sounds really cool, we're excited about that. So it's great to just work with them and bring something to you all in that couple space from our perspective. And then obviously they've got all their family layouts as well, which are pretty epic, you know, like it's...
Yeah, I think they're well known for their rear bunk, quad deletes and things like that. So once again, all the feedback, we meet a lot of other Vibe owners on the road, which is awesome. It's a bit of a community happening. Everyone enjoys catching up, having a chat and sharing the story and showing people through. Like, even though we're ambassadors, happy to show people through the course of it. We know so many other people that are part of the group as well that just love showing off their product, their van. So
proud of it.
Proud of it, so it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that's where we'll wrap it up. We'll talk a little bit more about why Vibe and just a little bit of that experience.
And if there's any questions or things that we might not have covered off in this video about the Dropbear Grizzly, or the differences between our 19 Tough and the Dropbear Grizzly, we'll ask away, and we're happy to share. Yeah,
if you have any comments, just hit us up in the comments or message us directly if you want to start some conversation privately, if that's what you prefer. We're always able to help, you know. Even, you know, I've had people ask about sort of just their layouts and what we think of that, which is really great. Colours, I love colours like this. I live and breathe it. Like, Troy sees me sit there and play with different things, and I want to get it right and make sure what I've got in here is there. So if you have questions, hit us up, whether it be about Vibe, about this layout, a different layout, and your experience. Or
even just caravanning in general. Like, you know, you might not even buy a Vibe.
Yeah, ask us about the petrol and the fuel economy.
exactly. So whatever, we're an open book.
Are we?
Yeah.
If someone asks you tomorrow, will you...
Depends on how busy my day's been, to be honest. So I won't lie, some days I love a chat, some days I just don't really feel like it. So I won't lie about that. But yeah,
true.
that's why Arity runs all the socials, and I just pop in and help when I can. So
One last question.
hopefully I'll be retired soon and no.
What exhausts on the patrol? It's like
it's a
our,
number one question.
it's a
But it's
number
good.
one
Like everyone
question.
loves it, and like we're proud of it, and it's fun. Like you know, and so
Yeah,
it's-
we joke, but we do. We love a chat. We love talking to people and sharing our story and hearing other people's stories as well. So feel free to connect with us, and I hope you've enjoyed our walk
Yeah.
through and
Yeah.
walk around.
awesome. Thank you.
All right, thanks.